I love the man who sold my soul for 200 rupees. I have always loved the idea of love because I craved for it throughout my life. I was average looking and had only fistful of confidence in me. I loved love stories, so when I was 14 I began to weave an ideal prince in my head. After my granny's sudden death, we moved towards the outskirts of the town. We were shifting our belongings. When I first saw him, he had the face of my prince. As we settled down at our new habitat, I almost forgot about him. It was after a week when I met him again. I was at new church in our vicinity. I felt a pair of eyes on me and turned to see who it was. He sat about 3 rows away, and as I met his stare, he beamed and a dimple rose onto his cheek. I smiled, flushed by such attention. He was 3 years older to me and a beautiful soul. It just took us 6 months to become best friends. He was funny beyond words, sang well and always mimicked everyone around him. But he was a loner, so was I. We were like hands and gloves. Everything about him encouraged me to be with him. He would stare at me and I mistook it for love. He smiled at me, I took it for care. Sometimes, I used to joke if he would care for a relationship, but he said it would be possible only in a nightmare, though he promised me one thing: after 20 years, if we remain unmarried, we'll get married. I was tomboyish in nature and he was very effeminate. He was always successful in masking his pain. It was one day he told me his truth. He had a boyfriend. I should have stopped then. I should have limited my admiration, but I didn't care if he liked boys. I didn't care at all. As time passed by, he became aloof. It was at this juncture I met his cousin, Sid. He had the same smile, same eyes, but he cared. I was instantly drawn towards Sid, not knowing that he was different from his brother. After a month's relationship with Sid, I came to know that he had placed a shoddy bet with his brother to court me for a meager amount of 200 rupees. I was totally shaken. How could he do that? I broke up with Sid and distanced myself from his brother. We stopped communicating after what had happened. But one day I got a message from Sid's brother informing me of his granny's demise. That was the day our friendship died as well. Months passed and I moved on with this new guy in my life, Adam, who deserves all the love in the world, but sadly, my past continues to bother me. It is like an old wound which can't be healed because I have never allowed it to be healed. The guy from my past still blocks and unblocks me from Facebook every now and then. And it was this peculiar habit of him which led me to muster up enough courage to actually ask him a question one day: was I so cheap that you sold me for 200 rupees to your nasty cousin? And he replied wisely and with flair, you were not mine to give you away to someone. This was our last conversation. And today, I met him at his place. He is a grown man now. His smile is so cold and so are his eyes. I wanted to slap him, cry and beg him for answers, but we stood like strangers at his housewarming party. He had come home after 2 years. He behaved as if nothing had happened. I felt an itch when he faked his smile. All these years I waited for his answer. I think I knew the answer and I am scared of the truth. I wanted to end, I want to hate him, but I continued to melt whenever I see him. He is a writer like me and I hope one day we will meet at the battlefield with stories.